Is Naruto Storm Connections boring? Make sure to watch this entire video, listen to it, and then leave a like and let me know what you thought after you hear all of the points. Guys, we want to know what is going on with Naruto Storm Connections. This is your time to leave some comments. Tell people what you're really thinking. How do you really feel about the game? Now, for me, I actually think that there's a lot of good things about Naruto Storm Connections. There's a lot of positive things, but there are some negative things we want to hash out. We've been hashing it out. Go to the DontLoseToFear YouTube channel, check out all the latest videos, and you'll see there's tons of commentary on tons of things for you to put your 2 cents in, or put your dollar in, a penny for your thoughts, right? So, leave some comments, let me know what you're thinking. Guys, right now, I want to talk about what actually makes Naruto... Well, real quick, what makes Naruto Storm 4 boring is it's actually very sluggish and very slow because of the lack of chakra regeneration. And then there's a lot of spam, which is actually really the culture and the tech of the chakra recovery glitch, which gives you your chakra back on dashes and jutsus. A lot of people hate when I say it, but it doesn't make it less true. Now, yeah, that's how you play the game, and it's fun and it's interesting doing it, but it still gets to that point where you really have to constantly manually get that chakra back, right? And there's only a few characters that you can use. The rest of the roster, like 90% plus of the roster, is not playable. So the cool thing in Connections is most of the roster is playable, right? A lot more accessible and playable, but people are not using those characters like Orochimaru, Hidan, Itachi, Roshi. Lots of characters. Like, I've only ever fought 2 Yugitos, but in Storm 4, I fight them all the time. I don't even fight that many Nejis in Connection. Neji, like Shippuden Neji with the great crazy mash, the mashing fingers, right? The adult Neji, the older Neji. It's kind of crazy how people will just, default to certain characters. Like right now, it's Shikamaru, parachute bags or balloon bags, Hagoromo lightning bolt. There's certain characters like that people will gravitate towards. And then a lot of the Kara members are not being used anymore. Jigen's being used a lot less. Ishiki's in there. People are using him. What happened to Delta? What happened to Boro? Yes, Boro is used sometimes at the highest level, but even in the beginning, he could have been used and he wasn't used. People were using the Shinra Tenseis. Now they're not using the Shinra Tenseis. So yes, the meta shifts. When things get buffed and nerfed and things get patched, things shift, right? The characters that people pick shift. But guys, what happened to the B tiers? Or sorry, the people on the bench. There's people on the bench that people aren't using that are almost just as good, if not just as good, as the people that are being used primarily. So what is going on with all that, right? Have you gotten bored with Naruto Storm Connections? What about the game got you bored? What about it, specifically? For me, I would say that it's a lot of waiting. A lot of just holding guard, which is crazy to me because when you hold guard, you get more chakra regen, but when you move, it actually slows down your chakra regeneration. So I don't like this idea of punishing movement. So they tried to punish runners and people dodging and not engaging by forcing them to engage by rewarding them with faster chakra regeneration. But what this does is it creates a stagnant and boring game. Movement is really important. A lot of people talk about let's stop all the cancel jutsus. I think it's great that you put a cost to canceling a jutsu because then there's a cost associated with it. It's not free. But I would never recommend for people to take away canceling a jutsu. Every jutsu really should be cancelable, especially the combo ones or the Rasengans and Chidoris. It should come with a cost, but it should be cancelable because it allows for actions per minute to increase. It allows for a more fluid and action-based gameplay, and it allows for less stagnation and just stopping, right? We want things to move. We don't want people to just stand still. It's a fighting game. You should be fighting. You shouldn't be standing there holding guard. So much to talk about. Guys, I hope that you enjoy the rest of this video. We have here Vengeful Wilberg, or now he goes by the name of Gotcha. He's been the co-commentator in the last few videos. Let's hear our discussion.
Changes to the game and don't really add anything brand new and clean. You know what I mean?
You
They're
know what's
just
crazy though? Like when we were
playing with
all
it.
okay, I agree with you, but the crazy thing is, it it wasn't portrayed and marketed that way because when I was getting my hands on all this footage and stuff and looking at the gameplay before the
Hmm.
game came out, it was looking pretty damn clean and really exciting. But then when you played it, it didn't play like that.
Uh-oh. Damn.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's wild,
And
dude.
but I think that a reason for that is because the people that are playing the game are just trying out certain things. They have no clue what the meta is, right? So
Yeah.
it's almost like it kind of proves the point that, if you can really nerf just a little bit or modestly some of like the top 10, top 20 characters, you're going to get a whole different game that actually would be fun to play because no one can, it'll be more balanced, right? Like
Yeah.
eventually there'll be something that's strong, but it will never be this strong as it is now. That's
Right.
so suppressive, so controlling, so abusive, right? That steals your turn constantly on the regular, and you need to have that or you lose, right?
Yeah, the game would feel less boring. Cause for me, it's like when I go in the rank, I already know what I'm going to see.
Yeah.
And the 80% of the time, you're going to be right. I mean, like, when was the last time you ever seen a Roshi used on as a point character in a rank match?
Orochimaru.
Roshi.
Oh, Roshi. Oh no, yeah, I've only seen
Yeah.
like two Roshis in a couple thousand fights. So
Yeah, see, that's the problem right there. Nobody wants to use characters that's not going to give them that edge.
but it's crazy. There's even characters like Toby Rama that are amazing in this game. They got everything going for them. They're buffed even from the past games, and those are not even used as much as they should be because they're so good. But people still will be like, "Yeah, that's good." Even Hinata's
But this
good,
is better.
but this is way better. So it's like
Yeah,
this is the best, and I want to be the
right.
best, so I'm gonna use the best. But that's not how any other games really work, right? Like even in first person shooters or in fighting games, yeah, like to a point, but then there's always like an anti-meta character or like a high skill ceiling character that
Hmm.
the skilled people will eventually go towards, and then in the end, those people end up prevailing, right? Because like
Hmm.
it really needs to come from within you. It has to, like the skill has
Yeah,
to be yours. It can't be
yeah,
borrowed skill from the character or the strong
yeah,
support jutsu, right? Like Kaguramo's Divine Thunder or whatever.
yeah,
It needs to come from you, your decision making, because otherwise, how is it special? How is it
yeah.
different, right?
True.
Like if you're not the
Cause
one
yeah,
making in the pilot seat and it's on autopilot, cool,
yeah,
you get to the destination, but I mean, you didn't do it. The autopilot did it, right?
yep,
But what are you gonna do
yep.
when there's a storm and then everyone's lives are on the line in the plane, right? You
Hmm.
better know how to pilot that plane if you guys are gonna make it out of
Yep,
there, right? But if you just
yep.
autopilot it, like maybe you'll get through, maybe you won't. But the point is you have a much better chance of a real person doing that and making those decisions, and you have a higher chance of survival. It's the same thing competitively. Like at the end of the day, if you have enough players playing and the game is decently balanced, they want to be the upper echelon, huh?
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. I sometimes I wonder what it is that they're trying to get out of this. Like,
No, I wonder too because a lot of times people say that they want something or that they're doing something, but they're actually not doing that, and that's actually not what they want. If that makes sense, or if that's what they want, it's like you're not going about it in the way to get it. If that makes sense, it's almost like you're going in about it a different way, right?
hmm,
I don't know if that
it's
makes sense.
almost like I guess the way you're bringing it up, like what is their ultimate goal? Is their ultimate goal to get better at the game, or is it to get to do well off of shortcuts or some shit?
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
I don't know. I don't know if that's where you was going with that. That's just a guess. 'Cause I don't know. People are weird nowadays. Sometimes you don't understand what people's logic is. Just like how You know, when I've been playing freaking Tekken and people lose their shit over